Tonight's story, The Nodder, set in the Hollywood of 1928, tears the tinsel from the boulevard of broken dreams to reveal the simple story of a boy and girl and a gorilla.
Unknown, on this guided tour of Glamour City, we bring you to the Colossal Perfecto Studios. Yes, folks, this is where it all happens. The thrills, the spills, the chills you go to see at your neighborhood movies. Well, hello. This is a new face that'll soon be on everybody's lips. This is King Bula, the most terrifying thing to come out of the Africa, who captured in his native jungle cuts the lives of 5 members of the expedition. Break your previous record set by Tallulah Bankhead. Remember the name, folks, King Bula. 250 pounds of mean, moody, and magnificent muscle go to make the Barrymore of the beasts.
Excuse me, Miss Ridgway. I couldn't help noticing that you're probably upset about something. Would it help to talk about it?
That's very kind of you, Mr.
Mulliner, Wilmot Mulliner.
Mabel Ridgway. Well, now, see, they're adding sound to this new film I'm working on. And I offer, as a special favor and at no additional cost, to imitate the call of the cuckoo, which they need, and which I have imitated in every theater on every circuit in the land.
Oh?
I had the honor to be a bird imitator in vaudeville. And when I do it, the director says I do it wrong.
The hound?
He says the cuckoo goes cuckoo, cuckoo. Whereas everybody who studied the subject knows what it really goes is woockoo, woockoo.
Well, absolutely, it's a definite w sound.
Like that.
Exactly like that.
You seem like a very sensitive kind of a person, Mr. Mulliner. Tell me, you in the business?
Yes, I'm on Mr. Fishbine's staff.
Really? Well, that's strange, because I'm Mr. Fishbine's new secretary, and I haven't seen you there.
Yes, that's hardly surprising.
Are you an executive?
No, I'm known in the business as a nodder.
A nodder? You forgive me, Mr. Mulliner, but I have not worked this side of the industry before.
Well, let me try and explain. Mr. Fishbine, as head of the studios, has his 2 top yes men. They have first say, naturally. Then he has his vice, yes, sir. Then his juniors, yes, man. And finally...
The nodder. Excuse me for saying so, but it does not sound like much of a job.
They also serve who only sit and nod.
I guess so.
Could I tempt you to a little something? A chocolate gâteau à la Clara Beau, perhaps?
Thank you, no, I've just finished 2 Metro-Goldwyn macaroons. We Impressionists must keep our vocal cords free from too much glutinous matter, you know.
Well, perhaps before you go, you'd give me that rendering of your impersonation of a cuckoo just once more.
Well, certainly. Or perhaps, for a change, you would prefer to hear the liquid notes of the Baltimore Oriole.
I should be delighted.
Very well, the Baltimore Oriole. You will notice that I use no mechanical contrivances of any kind, and that the mouth is completely free from all flutes, whistles, and kazoos. The Baltimore Oriole. And now, leave us quit these shores and journey across the Atlantic to Bonnie, Scotland, where, mid banks and braes, if we listen very carefully, we may hear the comical capercaillie. So much for the Emerald Isle. Journeying southwards towards the groves of Berkshire, we hear the throbbing tones of the nightingale, so beloved by the poet Keats, among others. How wistful he sounds, and no wonder, for he is bidding farewell to his native soil and emigrating to the dark continent of Africa, only to be attacked by the killer cockatoo. Leave us us not dwell on the outcome of that conflict, for all too soon it is time to return to the U.S. of A., where, on our native prairies, our spirits are once more uplifted to the cheery sound of our own little chickadee. Here's his own name. Little chickadee. And finally, last, but by no means least, the triumphant cry of the bird, forever associated with Old Glory and the stars and the stripes forever. The wonderful, the magnificent, bald eagle, the national bird of the United States of America. I would ask you all to stand, please. I'm sorry, Wilmot. I appreciate the honor you do me by proposing marriage, but I'm afraid I'm obliged to hand you the frozen mitt. The man that I marry must be a giant among men in word and deed. He must be able to fight a duel, tame a tiger, wrestle with Hedder Hopper. But another? No, Wilmot. What was that?
That was a cry of wordless grief.
Strange. It sounds not unlike the mating call of the Burma peacock. Listen. You see the resemblance?
I'm sorry, I'm too overwrought to give any kind of critical appraisal, Mabel. I know it's true I've done none of the things you mentioned, but they never seem to have cropped up. Can you deny me the chance to prove myself?
I see your point of view, Wilmot. Listen, here's what we'll do. We'll become provisionally engaged. Until such time as you're able to prove yourself a real man.
Oh, Mabel, you've made me the happiest nodder on the lot.
Thank you, Wilmot. And now, I have to go and put out the pads and pencils. Remember, we have a story conference with Mr. Fishbein at 10:30.
I'll be there. And don't worry, I'll show you what I'm made of. I'll show her. Yes. But how? How?
How?
Hey, George.
Hi.
Have you got a second?
Yeah.
Listen, George, you're the publicity man around here. I mean, you're good at thinking up stunts.
Oh, yeah? Well, I haven't thought up one for this monkey King Booley yet. I had a great idea of setting him up against Tarzan for 8 rounds, but MGM wouldn't play. No, they didn't like the odds. What's your problem, Wilma?
Well, George, I've just got engaged to Mabel Ridgway, you see, but only provisionally until I can prove myself.
Prove yourself what?
Prove myself something more than a nodder, George. You see, what I need is a stunt that'll make me look like some kind of He-Man hero in Mabel's eyes.
You? That won't be easy.
George, I see no particular difficulty there, considering I'm quite prepared to go through fire, flood, tempest, and earthquake for that girl. No need to get carried away, George. I mean, there's no sense in taking stupid risks.
I see. You mean you want something dangerously safe.
George, I know you'll think of something.
Good morning, boy.
Good morning, Mr. Fishbein.
Good morning, Mr. Fishbein.
Good morning, Miss Ridgway. Okay, boys, sit down. I don't want to have no standing of ceremony. Okie doke, so let's get to work, huh? Where did we get to the last time, Miss Ridgway?
Conference on the storyline of Delancey of the Frozen North, freely adapted by Isidore Q. Fishbein from Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm. Cabot Delancey, the only son of an old Boston family, has gone to try to breach the North Poke. Oh, that's reached the North Pole. In a submarine, and he's seated on a great big ice. He's seated on a great big ice. What do you think that is? Ice cream?
Boyd, honey.
Boyd! He's seated on a great big iceberg. And the scones, the scenes of his youth are passing before his eyes.
What scenes?
You didn't get to what scenes.
Okay, so that's what we'll start today. Now, what scenes are passing before this fellow's eyes?
How about a polo game?
Ain't that just like a writer? In the middle of a story conference, he wants to go off and enjoy himself.
And no, Mr. Fishbein. I mean, how about Cabot Delancey seeing a polo game pass before his eyes?
No. Who cares anything about polo? Listen, when you're working on a motion picture, you gotta bear in mind the small-town population of the Middle West. Am I right or am I right?
Certainly, Mr. Fishbein. Absolutely, Mr. Fishbein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I got it. This guy's sitting on an iceberg, right?
Certainly, Mr.
Absolutely,
Fishbein.
yeah.
Okay, so suddenly he seems to see himself. He's always been an athlete, you understand? He seems to see himself making the home run in one of these polo games. Everybody's interested in polo nowadays. Am I right or am I right?
Certainly, Mr. Fishbein.
Absolutely, Mr. Fishbein.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's set for one of the visions, but we need two. Now, the other one should be kind of, romantic. So now we'll fix the second vision when we meet this afternoon, 5:30 on the dot. Okay, boys, skedaddle.
Well, I didn't see very much evidence of your proving yourself.
Well, I was just doing my job then. But I don't think I'll be found wanting when the time comes. Something might turn up.
Listen, you two, I have got a great idea.
Now, listen to this, because George's ideas are always terrific.
Go ahead, Mr. Fivers.
All right. Now, it all started with Luella Benstead. You know, she's starring in Flames of Africa, and she's going to get married soon, right? So, I suggested that she get married in the gorilla's cage.
George, that's a terrific idea.
Great publicity.
But she turned it down. So, I'm going to let you two kids do it.
Us, George?
Yeah.
In the cage? In the gorillas?
Yes.
Where's the gorilla all this time, George?
He's right in there with you.
Oh, Wilmot, it'll be a sensation. It'll make me a star. Oh, George.
Yes, I can see that, but have we the right to pander to the morbid tastes of a sensation-seeking public?
Don't tell me you're chicken.
Sure, I mean, there's nothing I'd enjoy more than a nice, quiet wedding in a gorilla's cage. Question of civic conscience here.
You're chicken.
He's chicken. I'll call Tom Mix.
And to think that I considered linking my lot with a man who's afraid of a teensy-weensy gorilla.
He's not a teensy-weensy gorilla. I would describe his development as well above average.
Either you marry me in the gorilla's cage or you don't marry me at all. Oh, why can't you be like Douglas Fairbanks? When he sees a gorilla, he just laughs in its face.
He's very rude.
Tell me something, Mr. Mulliner. Is that your last word on the subject? Just as I thought. Goodbye, you nodder.
Here we are, old chap. Have another one. Compliment of Wilmot Mulliner. That is Wilmot Mulliner, W-I-L-M-O-T. Yes, try and make a note of that, would you? And don't forget the face, would you? One scene never forgotten. That's left profile. No, that's the left profile, right profile, and of course full face there.
Wilmot, what are you doing?
I'm just impressing my face and personality on my good friend here, George.
Well, why do you want to do that?
Well, to make things a whole lot easier when I get married in there, George.
Well, but I thought you'd turned chicken and backed out on that.
No, I'm quite prepared to go through with the whole thing now.
Well, what changed your mind?
Well, I remember that old adage, gorillas never forget.
That's elephants. Elephants never forget. As far as I know, a gorilla can't even put a name to a face in a mirror.
Oh, well, that's terrific, isn't it? That's a complete waste of bananas, George.
But it doesn't make any difference now, because I have a great idea. Do you want to hear it?
No, thanks, George. I've had enough of your stupid ideas. Thank you. And you.
All right, suit yourself. You'll be reading about it soon enough. This idea is a pippin', fella. By 4 o'clock this afternoon, you are going to be headlines. Killer gorilla escapes on lot. All Hollywood terrorized. Now, if that doesn't land you smack in the middle of the front page, I'll be a monkey's uncle. No offense.
Excuse me, sir, but are you by any chance a family man? Oh, it's you! Ah, I didn't recognize you at first. Well, before I go any further, I must thank you for the bananas. They were delicious. A little something round the middle of the afternoon quite picks one up, doesn't it? Don't you think?
You speak very good English for a gorilla.
You know. One never quite forgets the lessons one learns at alma mater, does one? You were an Oxford man by any chance?
No, Eton merely.
Oh, hard luck. Now, I came down in 25. I've been knocking about a good deal since then. And then a friend of mine in the circus business suggested that the gorilla field wasn't too overcrowded. Plenty of room at the top, he said. As a matter of fact, I've done pretty well at it.
Yes, yes. So, you're no real gorilla at all?
No, synthetic.
And you wouldn't tear anyone limb from limb?
My dear fellow, my idea of a good time is to curl up with a good book. I'm happiest with my books.
Well, I'm delighted to meet you, Mr.
Wadsley Davenport. Cyril Wadsley Davenport.
Will Mullen.
Oh,
So sorry.
Scott, right. Oh, yeah. Excuse me a minute.
Right.
My child! Oh, sir, save my baby! He's my only child, and he's just signed a 2-year contract!
The reason why I asked you whether you were a family man, because I hoped you'd be able to tell me what to do about a crying baby. I can't seem to be able to stop it. Of course, it was my fault for taking it in the first place.
Yes, why did you take it?
That's the dumb thing, old boy. I mean, you must have read dozens of stories in which the first thing that an escaped gorilla does is snatch a baby and head for the roof.
Yes.
Yeah, well, the trouble is, I'm too much of an artist. You see, I just felt the scene. I felt it here.
Oh, my child! My child!
Yes, look, I tell you what. I've got an idea. Why not let me snatch the baby? That way you can stay in character and the mother gets back her infant.
Good Lord! I'd never have thought of that. I don't know how to thank you. By Jove, this is going to be a lesson to me in the future not to give way to the artist in me.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Action, right?
I'm gonna hit you in the stomach. Ready?
Yes. Oh! I'm most terribly grateful.
My entire pleasure. See you again sometime.
quite enough to drink.
You're not leaving here till we all buy you a drink.
Just about the bravest thing I ever saw. Drink up, pal.
Go on.
Listen, no, I think I ought to have a lie down because I've got a story conference in half an hour.
No.
You sent for me, IQ? I sure did, Davitsky. Listen, you know what?
Listen, what?
King Boola's agent has just been to see me.
If he wants a raise, talk to him about the depression.
Raise? What worries me is how long he's gonna be white what he's getting.
Boola? King of the jungle? 250 pounds of mean, moody, magnificent?
No! 112 pounds of skinny actor.
But only you and me know that.
Plus, one of my nodders, name of Mulliner. It seems he did Booler a good time today, and that fake ape has spilled the beans.
But if this Mulliner sells that to the press, Boola won't be worth one plug nickel to us. What are we gonna do?
You tell me. The only thing is, maybe he's too dumb to use it. But how are we gonna find out?
We can tell by a manner. If a fellow suddenly does something like that, he won't go on doing it like always, huh? Now what type of fellow is he?
An ideal nodder. I never had a better. Bang on cue every time. No alibis about stiff necks. Respectful. What's that word beginning with D?
A donut.
Deferential. And what's that word beginning with O?
Oboe.
Obsequious. That's what he is. Respectful, deferential, obsequious.
Well, then it'd be easy to tell. If he suddenly ups and starts throwing his weight around, then we'll know that he remembers his Buddha's just an actor.
And then?
We'll have to square him. And we'll have to do it right, too. No half measures.
Yeah, I guess it's the only way. Well, we'll soon know. There's a story conference just starting. He'll be here to nod.
We'll have to watch him like a lynx.
Like a what?
A lynx. It's a kind of wildcat. Watches things.
Oh, I got you. What confused me at first was I thought you meant golf links.
Ah.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I wanted to let you know that it was my idea. Sit down.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mulliner, and how are you?
Not at my best, thank you, Miss Ridgway. As your poet Keats puts it, a drowsy numbness pains my senses, though of hemlock I had drunk.
Not only hemlock, I'd say.
Hello, boys.
Hello, Mr. Fish. Hello, Mr. Fish.
Okay, sit down. That's Mulliner. That's him. He sort of quivered when he came in, like in unholy glee. And did you notice how sullen he was with his hello? Okay, you guys, come on, let's get going. Where did we get to, Miss Ridgway?
Oh, we got to Cabot Delancey's second vision on the ice, and you said it had to be something romantic.
That's right. We gotta do something to bring in the women. Something tender and sweet and touching. Am I right or am I right?
Certainly, Mr. Fishbine.
Absolutely, Mr. Fishbine.
Yeah.
Yeah. He scowled, as it might be with sullen hate.
That's the way it struck me. Keep watching it. Okay, something romantic. With a girl, huh? With a girl, like, listen, I got it. It's spring. The trees is waving in the breeze. All the beauties of nature are everywhere. The grass that ripples, the buds that, what do buds do?
Bud.
No, it's a word with two syllables.
Virgin.
I beg your pardon, but a virgin's a kind of a fish.
You're thinking of sturgeon.
Oh, excuse it, please. I'm not strong on fish. Birds are my specialty.
Okay, we'll have boys do all the boys you want. Hey, listen, this gives me a great idea for a comedy touch. This fella's got this girl in this old world garden where everything is burgeoning. And when I say burgeoning, I mean burgeoning. That burgeoning has got to be done right.
I'll make a note you got a really high-class burgeoner in.
Okay, anyway, these two are locked in this deep embrace. Now, you hold it as long as the Philadelphia censor will let you. Now, here comes the comedy touch. Just when these two young folks are kissing each other, suddenly, a cuckoo close by goes cuckoo, cuckoo, meaning how goofy they are. Well, that's good for a laugh, huh? Am I right or am I right?
Excuse me, Mr. Fishbine, but you're wrong.
Excuse me. Did you say that I was wrong?
Excuse him. Did you say that he was wrong?
The cuckoo does not go cuckoo, cuckoo. It goes woockoo, woockoo with a distinctly W sound.
So I don't know the lowdown on cuckoos, huh?
Wookoo's.
Cuckoos.
Wookoo's.
You're fired.
Oh, you're so unfair and unjust. I'm right, and anybody who studied cuckoos knows I'm right. When you were talking about virgins, I was wrong, and I admitted I was wrong. But when it comes to cuckoos, you're talking to a girl who knows her cuckoos from soup to nuts. And if you don't believe me, you ask Mr. Mulliner there. He was raised on a farm, and he's heard more cuckoos than Carter's got pills. How about it, Mr. Mulliner? Tell him the cuckoo goes woockoo.
The cuckoo goes cuckoo. Am I right or am I right?
Certainly, Mr. Fishbone.
Absolutely, Mr. Fishbone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No! It does not go cuckoo. You've fallen into a popular error, Mr. Fishbone. The bird whooks. And by heaven, I shall never cease to maintain that it whooks, no matter what offence I give to powerful vested interests. I endorse Miss Ridgway's views entirely. I say the cuckoo does not cook, it whooks. So make the most of it.
Oh, Wilmot!
Woockoo. Woockoo. Woockoo.
Okay, everybody, skedaddle.
Mother! Woockoo.
I can understand your attitude. Nothing is more annoying than people making stupid mistakes.
No half measures, no half measures.
Sit down. Mulliner, come on, take my chair. Come on, sit down. I consider the firm stand you took a striking example of your loyalty to the firm.
I was admiring it myself.
For you are loyal, aren't you, Mulliner?
And you wouldn't do anything to jeopardize our interest, now would you?
Like you would never give away our little secrets, thereby causing alarm and despondency.
Certainly he wouldn't.
Especially as now we're gonna make you a #1 executive.
An honorary rank as full brother-in-law.
Huh? Of course, of course, of course. If that's agreeable to you, Mulliner.
Your turn, Wilmot.
Yes, well, that's most acceptable. IQ. Thank you very much, L.O. Yes, indeed, of course, there is one thing I shall require Miss Ridgway here to star in a new musical that I have been writing for her based on Audubon's Birds of America and provisionally entitled Bird Singers of Broadway.
Well, of course. If that's what you want, Mulliner, the only thing is, Miss Ridgway isn't a star.
Don't worry, IQ. She will be.
Who'll give it, this woman?
Oh, I'm doing that. It's a pleasure.
May I have the ring, please? Now, do you, Mabel Grace Ridgway, take this man for your lawful wedded husband?
I certainly do.
And do you, Wilmot Spencer Mulliner, take this woman for your lawful wedded wife?